show of hands if this sounds familiar. You are traveling to work and you get a great idea about your work. But when you get to your desk, you forgot about it. Or you read something useful for a meeting or a project of yours. But when you need it, you can't seem to remember it. The New York Times estimates that the average person processes over 34 gigabytes of information daily. Videos, podcasts, PDFs, WhatsApp, social media, documents. The human brain is not designed to process and load all of this and still think clearly. And to that be the problem, we find ourselves maybe watching a video or a tutorial and we think, oh, I got it. Or we scroll past a tip or a DIY or a life hack and we think, oh, that's useful. I got it. Nothing gets captured, nothing gets organized, nothing gets distilled. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
Productivity expert Tiago Forte has a solution for this. He calls it the second brain. He describes it as a digital external storage system where you store your ideas, notes, and researches. So you let your real brain do actual thinking and creating. A good second brain does three things for you. First, writing down your ideas clearly makes them easier to find. Secondly, revisiting them sparks new creative connections. And then old ideas become a spark for new projects. The second brain, Tiago Forte now summed it up in three verbs: capture, organize, distill, express. Capture what matters, organize it so that you can find it, distill it so that you can extract the main points, and then express it into something real, like a speech, or a report, or a plan. Now the question is, organize it where? How do you organize it? That is where the PARA framework helps. Your second brain should not be organized like a library you rarely touch. It should be organized like a kitchen by use, so that you can be able to grab anything you need when it's time to cook. The PARA framework stipulates that everything you collect falls under 4 buckets: projects, areas, resources, archives. Projects are short-term efforts with a clear outcome and a deadline. For example, prepare level 3 speech or submit performance appraisal. Areas are life responsibilities with no finish line, like health, finances, career, family, Toastmasters. Resources are materials that can be useful in the future, like articles, PDFs, research reports. And archives are where you put every item from those 3 that is no longer active, but is still worth keeping. For example, completed projects, or old job files, or past speeches. Everything has a home, 4 buckets. Now, how did I apply this? Before the PARA framework, my information was everywhere. Notebooks in my bag, notes in my phone, PDFs buried in downloads, work files in random folders. But after I discovered the second brain and the PARA framework, all my files and notes, both at home and at work, follow the same PARA structure. Both in my Google Drive or on Notion, I have projects, areas, resources, and archives. Same information, same content. Now, how do I apply it? Let's say I come across a strong article on leadership. I capture it. I add 1 or 2 lines on why it matters. I treat it like a knowledge asset, not just content. And then I organize it. I file it under a project like prepare Teams presentation or submit CV. Then later, I go back and distill it and extract 3 key points from the information. And when I need it, I can express it. Those 3 points can form a slide or a story. It's the same information you find on the internet, but the difference is my second brain knows exactly where it is and how it fits into my real work. When we just see our ideas, they fade. But if we capture, organize, and distill, they begin to work for us. Now, I just don't want you to hear this. I want you to test it in your real life. Here's what I invite you to do this week. First, choose a home for your second brain. Your Notes app, Google Drive, Evernote, Notion, whatever you use the most. Secondly, in the app, create a space and name it Second Brain Power. And in it, add 4 sections or 4 folders: projects, areas, resources, archives. And then lastly, add 1 real project and 1 real resource. Under projects, you can add prepare speech or update my CV. And in resources, you can add an insight, a quote, an article you don't want to lose, a video about speaking, or an idea from this afternoon. 3 months later, when you go down that space, you either find yourself digging through digital clutter or you get exactly what you need. Same information, same content. The only difference is your second brain. So name your folders, feed your system, and let your ideas work for you. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmasters.